Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Soul Talk with Cash. This is where we take control of our thoughts and tailor them to make lasting positive impacts on our lives. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 reasons why women are most likely to get heartbroken while they are dating. If you are seeking for a life partner, this is someone who you want to become your husband, then stick around to the end of this video because you want to avoid the heartbreak. However, before I get into these reasons, I'm going to be sharing with you the stages of dating because these stages will provide a background for these reasons. The first stage is attraction. Of course, most people are not going to be dating someone who they are not attracted to. They must be attracted to each other regardless of who these persons are, because without that they won't be able to say, okay, let us get into a relationship and let us see how far this will go. So attraction is the first stage, whether it be the physical attraction or the intelligence or the progressiveness of this person, whatever it is, there must be first attraction. In this first stage of attraction, there is some amount of fantasizing. There is maybe infatuation. And because you don't really know what this person is truly like, then it will be based on what you perceive this person will be like. Now, let's move on to the second phase. The second phase is the reality stage. This is where now you truly get to understand who this person is, what this person is like. This is where you may have various forms of conflicts because you're moving out of the attraction phase, you're into the reality phase, and you're coming to terms with what is really confronting you. And you may end up having conflicts in this stage because now you understand what this person is like, and you also are showing what you are like in this phase. The reality phase, you discover who the person is. This is where you seek to understand whether or not you're compatible with the individual. Now, many persons don't spend a lot of time in this phase, and that is sad because this phase is very important for you to get to truly understand the person and know exactly what you are looking for in a relationship. So stage 2 is a phase where people should really spend a lot of time. Stage 3, this phase is the commitment phase, where you decide that this is a person that you want to settle down with. This is where you're going to be exclusive, you're going to avoid having other relationships, and you are going to say, this is a person who I've decided to be with. Now, this phase should not be assumed. This should be a phase where both persons who are involved in the relationship comes to an agreement that they are going to go steady. If you assume, you may be in a situation where you are in this phase and the other person has not reached that phase yet, and you may end up having problems. You have to talk this through so that both of you are on the same level and both of you know that you want to be in this relationship with each other. Stage 4 has to do with the intimacy phase. This phase is where there is a deep level of openness, and it takes place when you get more comfortable with each other. This is a phase where people are more vulnerable around each other. You know exactly what annoys them, what frustrates them. You know what they love, what they enjoy. You know deeply about this person, and you are able to an extent tell what the person may think or do in a given situation. You may be able to tell that something is wrong even if your partner doesn't state it. So you know about this person on a deep level. This is more than just surface talk. This is more than just, oh, How was your day? How are you today? What happened at work? This is where the aspirations, the dreams are discussed. This is where the future plans. You know this person more than other people know them. And you are connected emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and for many people, they are often connected physically. However, even at this phase, I would discourage sexual intimacy if you have not made that marital commitment, because once you have become sexually intimate with this person, that is going to change the structure of the relationship in a whole new way. And there are often a lot of ties that comes when you get involved with a person in that deep level of intimacy. And the final phase has to do with the engagement phase. Couples often make that decision at this point that they are going to move on to the next level. They are going to tie the knot and they are going to spend the rest of their lives together. Even at this phase, if the relationship doesn't work out, if you were not satisfied with what you were looking for in this relationship, you still have the opportunity to call it off, call it quits, than to move on to the next level. Now, having established those phases, I am going to share with you 3 reasons why I think that women are likely to get hurt during the time when they are dating. The first reason has to do with women often become too emotionally attached too quickly. A lot of women, sometimes they tend to reach the commitment phase of the relationship even before getting to know the person adequately, even before they have explored stage 2 of the relationship, that reality phase. They haven't spent adequate time to understand this person, to know exactly what they want, to be able to decide whether or not they want to continue in this relationship. They give their 100%, they dive in fully emotionally, and when emotions get involved, oftentimes logics go through the window. When they see the true character of this person, when they see what this person is really like, they may be blinded by the emotions. They may be blinded by how this person makes me feel. They feel so happy, they're head over heels about this relationship, and they cannot imagine their lives without this person. And oftentimes, they are the ones who make that commitment first without even knowing that the partner that they have is ready to be at the commitment stage. And that's why it should not be assumed, and women often need to caution themselves to think logically about what they really want and not allow their emotions to be controlling their decision. The second reason why I believe that women get hurt during dating is because they skip stages. The stages that I've outlined earlier in this video about the dating cycle, women sometimes may tend to skip phases. And when you skip phases, you may not spend that sufficient time to go through the process, to understand, to get to know, to build that bond, to build a relationship strong enough to be able for it to survive the different phases. And when you skip phases and you get emotionally entangled in this relationship and you give of yourself even before you have made that decision that this is a person that you're going to be marrying, whenever that man decides to go get involved in another relationship, if they do something that is really hurtful, because you're so emotionally involved and because you have reached so far in this relationship already, you feel like you have given everything to it. And when you cannot imagine the thought of losing this person because you're so involved and you're so ahead of the process, that it's difficult for you to call it quits when the time comes. Especially if you get sexually involved with this person, then oftentimes emotions are what drives decision instead of logical thinking and reasoning and clearly seeing the signs and clearly making a determination what you need to be doing and what you really want in this relationship. And the third reason why I think that women tend to get hurt in a relationship has to do with feeling desperate. I've said it, ladies. Sometimes that is the case where you are desperately searching for love. You're desperately searching for someone to come and fill that longing, the companionship. And because of that desperation, you may be acting on impulse and emotions and allowing yourself to be in a situation where if you were not feeling desperate and if you were thinking logically about what you truly want, you wouldn't end up in certain relationships that you are in. And sometimes you may not know exactly what you want. You may not know exactly what it means to have and experience love. So the moment that someone starts buying you gifts, taking you out, making you feel special, then you feel as if that is what love is, that is what love looks like, and you may be tempted to ignore other signs that you should be paying attention to. Also, some men will use flattery because they know that you feel special when they do certain things. They know that you feel special when they say certain things, and they may be acting upon your vulnerability, and they may be showering you with all those things that makes you feel special. And so you just give yourself entirely to this person without thinking about all the logics. Also, because of these things, you may lower your standards in this relationship and accepting sub-standard. You may be lowering even your self-worth because, for example, if a man says that he loves you, but yet still he is there flirting with other women, and you suspect that he is having outside relationships and he is not being entirely honest with you because of what he's doing for you, you may be saying that, well, I am the person who he has chosen to be with, and so those other females don't really count. And because your standard is lowered in terms of what you want for yourself, you're accepting this kind of behavior from a man. So don't lower your standard. If you are open-minded and you think logically about what you really want, you also must know those things that you will not tolerate in a relationship. And when you see those things that you will not tolerate, there should be no compromise on these things. Don't say to yourself that he will change. If you do not find that change now, how likely is it that he will change when you end up getting married to this person? Now, you must know what those deal breakers are and those things that you are not going to tolerate with this person. Those are the things I wanted to share with you today, and those are the things that you should avoid doing when you are in a dating relationship, because the first person who you date or the second person who you date may not be that person who you decide to spend the rest of your life with. And you want to give yourself sufficient time to get to know people so you can make a thorough, well thought out decision about this person who you want to spend the rest of your life with. So be sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and turn on your notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be the first to know. Until next time, I will see you in the next one.